Hey netizens, welcome to DigiMestry Labs. Today, we are going to start a tutorial series on one of the most popular assets from the Unity Asset Store called rpgbuilder by Blink. It is an artist-friendly framework for building RPG games with ease. I'll put a link in the description to this tool. I highly recommend you check this tool out. Coming back to the tutorial series, this series on RPG Builder will be an ongoing one. I will try to cover various functionalities and modules of the framework in separate videos of their own. I will try to include as much information and hopefully we'll be able to complete a simple level of an RPG game with all the functionalities present in the RPG Builder. If you are interested, let us start this journey. In this video, we are going to start with the creation of two custom characters in RPG Builder. We will compare two different assets for the creation of a male and a female character. Prefabs of both assets are set up differently and the approach needs to be a bit different. The assets that I'm using for demonstration purposes are Polygon Modular Character Asset from Synty Studios and Elijah Modular Character Pack from Roots Studios. I will put a link in the description for both assets. To begin with, open any scene in Unity. Add the RPG Builder's default character prefab to the scene. Add the prefab of the character model that you want to change. I'm using Synty's Modular Characters Pack as mentioned before. Please note that these steps can be applied to any assets that you have. If there is anything specific to the assets that I'm currently using, I will mention the same. Now, unpack both the prefabs completely. Expand the RPG Builder default character game object. Delete the armature game object under the armature parent. Then, delete the game objects under the meshes and armors. Now, expand the custom character game object. Select the game object with the armature details. For Synty assets, the game object is named root. Drag and add the root game object to the armature parent game object under the default character. Reset the transform of the root game object. This will align it with the armature parent. Next, move the skinned meshes of the custom character to the default character. Skinned meshes refer to all the game objects that contain the visual data of the asset. For the Synty character that I'm using, the data is present under the Modular Characters game object. Reset the game object to align it properly. Next, open the animator avatar of the custom model by clicking on the avatar variable under the animator component. Select the parent game object of the default character. Navigate to the animator component of the default character. Add the previously selected avatar to the avatar section. Now, delete the empty custom game object. Rename the character to something that you prefer. Save the project. I usually save the data in between. In some cases, this approach needs to be a bit different. To demonstrate this, I have used another asset from Ruts Studios called Elijah. Add the Elijah prefab to the scene. Note that this character is set up in an entirely different way. All the body parts are placed under the skeleton itself. Now, add the default character prefab from the RPG builder to the scene once again. Unpack both the prefabs entirely. Remove the armature game object as before from the default character. Now, remove the entire meshes and armor game objects. We will not move the skinned mesh renderers separately for this character asset. It will break the support. Find the skeleton game object of Elijah prefab. Drag and drop the entire rig under the armature parent game object. Reset the transform. Notice that the character is not aligned correctly. Adjust the rotation in the x-axis to -90° to align the character. Select the avatar of Elijah game object. Add it to the parent animator's avatar section as before. Now, we have set up two custom character models with entirely different game object structures. The most important point to notice for any model is that the skeleton of model should be aligned properly under the armature parent game object. Next, drag and drop both the custom character game objects into any folder to make those into prefabs. Now, delete those prefabs from the hierarchy. Next, open the RPG Builder editor window. Click on the character section. All the player character related data is configured through the character section. There are three subsections under character in which races are the starting point for the player character. Now, select the races subsection. RPG Builder comes pre-configured with a human race for demonstration purposes. Select that human race. Expand the genders section. There is already a male gender set up pre-configured. Add the Elijah custom character to the prefabs slot. Next, click on Add Gender button. From the drop-down, select the female gender. Now, add our newly created character prefab from Synty to the prefab slot. Select an icon for the character. Click on the Dynamic Animator checkbox. Now, select the Human REST Override Animator controller from the options available for REST controller and Compat controller. Click on the Save button at the top. This is very important. If you do not save this, all the data will be lost. Now, click on Save in Unity. Open the Blink Scene Loader. Click on the main menu to open the main menu scene. I have created a duplicate of the main menu, so I will open that. Next, click on the Play button in Unity. Click on the New Game button. For you, it might be named New Character, which is default. Note that the male character is the Elijah prefab and the female character is the Synty prefab that we created earlier. We will test the Elijah character first. Select that and give it a name. Now click on Create. Observe that the character is created properly and we can play the same. All the animations seem to be working as expected. Next, click on Escape. Choose the main menu option. Click on the New button again. This time, select the female Synty character. Give it a name. Click on Create. Notice that the character is created as expected in the scene. All the animations seems to be working as expected. By this, we have completed the character setup in RPG Builder with two different assets. So, to conclude, we have created two custom characters in the RPG Builder framework. There were slight changes to the approaches used for creating these characters. We touched upon the RPG Builder editor's character configurations. Thank you for watching this video. Please do like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon on our channel and support our initiative. More such content will be made available in the future. Thanks again.